Do you ever feel like you are living the different lives? There is the life you live in the sunlight where you smile, work, and nod politely at neighbors. And then, there is the other life. The one that only wakes up when the sun goes down, when the door clicks shut, and you are left alone with four walls. That is the moment you look in the mirror and ask yourself, the person looking back at me, who is that, really? We often think we know ourselves. You know you like the color blue, you hate onions, and you're afraid of heights. But according to behavioral psychologists, that is only 5% of the iceberg. 95% of your true self isn't found in what you say. It's found in what you do unconsciously. It's in the way you hang your coat, how you react when you drop a glass, or even where your eyes dart when you walk into a crowded room. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, once said, the mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. The submerged part holds your secret fears, your unhealed traumas, and even the darker desires you try to suppress. Today at Psychovive, we aren't talking about shallow personality quizzes. We are diving into the submerged part of that iceberg. We are going to decode behaviors so small you've never noticed them, yet they are screaming to the world who you truly are. Prepare yourself. You might feel a little exposed by these truths. Are you ready to face your true self? Decoding the ego deep dive. Fact number 1. How you handle silence. The peace index. Imagine you are sitting in a car with a friend, or maybe a partner. Suddenly, the conversation dies. The space fills with silence. How do you feel? If that moment makes you anxious, if your hands get fidgety, and you frantically search for a random topic just to fill the void. Psychology reveals you may harbor a deep fear of genuine connection. You aren't afraid of the silence. You are afraid of the voice inside your own head that speaks up when the world gets quiet. People who cannot stand silence are often running from their own emotions, or they tend to be people pleasers, terrified of being judged as boring. Conversely, if you can sit in that stillness, look out the window, and feel at ease, it indicates a high level of emotional autonomy. You accept yourself and don't need constant external validation to feel like you exist. How you face the quiet is the true measure of the peace within your soul. Fact number 2. The apology reflects trauma of the past. Are you the type of person who says I'm sorry, even when it's not your fault? Someone bumps into you on the street, and you say sorry. You ask a waiter for water. You start with sorry. You want to share an opinion, so you preface it with, sorry if I'm wrong. This is not just politeness. In clinical psychology, this is often identified as a trauma response, specifically a fawning response. If you over-apologize, it's highly likely that in your past, especially in childhood, you lived in an environment where you were blamed for things out of your control. You learned to take the blame as a defense mechanism to avoid conflict, to soothe a parent's anger, or to appease authority figures. Your sorry is actually a subconscious plea. Please don't hurt me. I've already admitted I'm wrong. It reveals a sensitive, compassionate heart, but one that is covered in the scars of insecurity. Fact number 3. How you argue. Attachment style. Think back to the last time you had a fight with someone. Which type are you? Type A. Do you explode, yell, demand to solve the problem right now, and panic if the other person goes silent? Type B. Do you shut down, go quiet, give the silent treatment, or walk away? How you argue is the clearest mirror of your attachment style. If you are type A, you likely have an anxious attachment style. You are terrified of abandonment. Your anger is actually fear in disguise. You yell not to attack, but to be heard, to make sure the other person is still there. If you are type B, you likely have an avoidant attachment style. You view intense emotion as a threat. Your silence is a fortress you build to protect a fragile ego. You aren't heartless. You are just overwhelmed. Understanding this isn't about judgment. It's about realizing that in every argument, we're just scared children, trying to protect our emotional toys in the clumsiest ways possible. Fact number 4. Eating habits. Relationship with control. We aren't talking about whether you like spicy or sweet food. Look at how you eat. People who eat very slowly, savoring every small bite, are often those who know how to appreciate the present moment. However, they can also be stubborn and like to control situations to fit their pace. They value their own satisfaction over society's speed. On the other hand, those who eat fast, practically swallowing food whole, are often ambitious, goal-oriented, and always feel like they are running out of time. But deep down, this habit reveals a constant state of anxiety. Subconsciously, they may feel they don't deserve the time to nurture themselves, or they are conditioned to complete the task to please others. Your relationship with food reflects your relationship with self-nurturing. Are you nourishing yourself, or just refueling to keep running? Fact number 5. Handwriting and the white space, loneliness or freedom. In the digital age, we write less, but look at your notes. If your handwriting is microscopic, you are likely highly focused, introverted, and incredibly detail-oriented. But it also suggests you are withdrawing. You are afraid to take up space. You don't want to be a burden. You hide within tiny letters just as you wish to be invisible in a crowd. If your handwriting is large, sprawling, and crosses the lines, you are likely extroverted, confident, and crave attention. But sometimes, this is a mask for inner emptiness. You need the noise to fill the void. And pay attention to pen pressure. If you write so hard it leaves an indent on the next page, you are carrying a lot of repressed energy, stress, and intense determination. If the writing is faint and barely there, you might be lacking vital energy or feeling lost, afraid to leave a mark on the world. Fact number 6. How you walk the speed of life. Psychologists have found fascinating links between gait and personality. Those who walk fast, leaning forward, are usually logical, productive, and intelligent. However, they are often perceived as cold. Why do they walk fast? Because their mind is running a script. Something bad will happen if I'm late. It is a sign of perfectionism and hidden anxiety. Those who walk slowly, eyes cast down, are often introverted, cautious, and reflective. But a head-down posture also reveals a lack of confidence, as if they are trying not to collide with the world. And then there are those who take up space when walking, swinging arms wide, long strides. These people are confident, but can border on narcissism. They believe the world should make way for them. Next time you are on the street, observe yourself. Are you walking as if you are running away, or are you walking as if you are enjoying the journey? Fact number 7. The duck syndrome. You know how a duck looks calm, gliding across the water. But beneath the surface, its little legs are paddling furiously, never stopping. So many of us suffer from this. On the outside, you look fine. You post happy photos on social media. You laugh at your coworkers' jokes. You say I'm fine when asked. But on the inside, your mind is a chaotic mess of anxiety, financial pressure, loneliness, and self-doubt. This behavior reveals that you have high self-esteem, but a terrifying fear of vulnerability. You worry that if you show even a crack in your armor, the perfect image you've built will shatter. You hold yourself together to be a rock for others, but you never let anyone be a rock for you. This is the shortest path to emotional burnout. Fact number 8. Reaction to the homeless. Compassion or fear. This is a brutal but accurate psychological test. When you walk past a homeless person, what do? If you ignore them, stare straight ahead, and walk faster, it doesn't necessarily mean you are heartless. Psychology explains this as avoidance of discomfort. That image triggers a fear in you, a fear of poverty, and a sense of helplessness regarding injustice. You look away because you cannot bear the guilt of having a better life. If you stop, or even just look them in the eye, whether you give money or not, it shows you possess high empathy. You are brave enough to face human suffering. You see the person inside the tattered clothes. Those who can make eye contact with the marginalized are often the bravest. Emotionally speaking. Fact number 9. What you do when no one is watching. Finally, and most importantly, who are you when you are completely alone? Do you dance like a maniac? Do you sob uncontrollably while watching a movie? Or do you sit and stare at the ceiling for hours? Carl Jung called this the shadow, those weird behaviors. The hobbies you'd never tell anyone about, like popping pimples, smelling old books, or talking to yourself. These are the most human parts of you. If you talk to yourself, don't worry, you aren't crazy. Psychology proves that people who engage in self-talk are intelligent. They use language to organize thoughts and regulate emotions. If you like to curl up in a ball, the fetal position, you are subconsciously seeking the comfort and safety that the outside world isn't giving you. Conclusion and lesson: healing. We have just journeyed through the layers of your behavior. Maybe you saw yourself in the person who over-apologizes, the fast walker, or the one afraid of silence. Maybe you felt a little sting recognizing the traumas you've kept hidden for so long. But you know what? The purpose of this video isn't to expose or judge you. The purpose is to help you understand. You are a masterpiece of complexity. Every habit, every strange reflex you have, exists for a reason. They were formed to protect you, to help you survive the hardest chapters of your life. You walk fast because you want to move forward. You apologize because you value peace. You hide your emotions because you want to be strong. There is nothing wrong with that. But once you identify them, you have a choice. You can choose to slow down and look at the sky. You can choose silence to listen to yourself. And most importantly, you can choose to take off that heavy mask and live authentically. Just a little bit more every day. The world doesn't need another perfect copy. The world needs you, the real version, with all your scars and unique beauty. Don't be so hard on yourself. Embrace that inner child, the one who is still scared and trying so hard, and tell them, it's okay. We are safe now. If this video touched a hidden corner of your soul, or if you saw yourself in these descriptions, please leave a comment sharing your story. We are here to listen, not to judge. Don't forget to like and share this video with those who are also struggling to find themselves. Please hit that subscribe button for Psychovive right now and turn on notifications. Here, we don't just talk about psychology. We heal together, we grow together, and we explore the vast universe inside the human mind. Thank you for giving your precious time to stay with us until this moment. You are not alone. See you in the next video from Psychovive.